Hi, my name is Matt Simon and I would like you to become a more conscious guitarist. The Conscious Guitarist is a 6-week course which is aimed at people who've already got a good level of technique, soloing ability, scales awareness, and you're looking to move out of the obvious ideas and really develop your personality and playing to a signature style that is immediately recognizable as you. There are 6 weekly modules and each week you'll get a pre-recorded video lesson, there'll be a group call, and I'll give you one-to-one feedback on the assignment, which will be recording a solo to backing track. Week 1 will be the audit, so we'll be looking at your playing and see what you default to. If you're under pressure or running out of ideas, what are the things that you usually do, and these will be your foundational building blocks. So quite often you might use the same scales, the same scale positions, or the same intervals and ending notes for scales. So we'll look at what you do, how to move out of that, and then what's worth keeping and holding on to that you can build into your signature style. Week 2 is the personal touch. So this is all about your touch on the guitar. So each note can be played in many, many different ways, and dependent on the situation will be which choice you make. And also having many, many different choices means you can develop more ideas and be more versatile and really serve the song emotionally. So vibrato is a big one. Is your vibrato big enough? Is it the right style? And also when to vibrato, when to not. Coming in straight away with a vibrato, just like maybe not as good. Sometimes it's good to really hold that weight, and then tension is from not using the vibrato, then slipping it in. Pick attack, different points on the string, really shaping the note. So for myself, I like to hit the neck pickup back to the bridge and really open the note. So is the note open? Is it closed? What kind of heat signature do you want on that? Do you want a bit more of a hairy note? Does it want to be sharper? So consciously thinking about, like a singer, instead of just having the note, you've got the quality of the note. So this is a really important module and it gets a really expressive feel out of all the notes. Week 3 will be analysing one of my solos, and this is not an ego trip for myself. We could do a well-known solo, but the advantage of one of mine is that I know exactly what went into every single bar, every single note. So we'll be looking at the note choices, what sound over the chords, and then how I played the notes as well. So sometimes I'll be really digging into the notes, sometimes letting them ring out a bit more, a bit of a smoother sound. And by looking at all these notes, it'll give you a good idea of how an advanced player looks into really structuring something and emotionally connecting all together by using all these techniques. Then the assignment for this week will be you'll play the solo as close as you can to the way I did it. And then even more importantly, you'll be playing it as yourself. So there'll be certain things that I did that you think, okay, that's quite cool, I can maybe put that into my own playing. But the really important thing is where you look at what I did and think, actually, I'd like to do something different there. This is how my style would be applied to this solo. So that will really give some insight in what you do like and what you don't like. And that is crucial for developing your own style, what to play, what not to play. Week 4 will be further crystallizing your style into what you like. We'll be looking at ideas you already use and then how we can develop those further, and the new ideas that you might like that we can take and incorporate into your style. So certain extensions you might like 9ths and 11ths, and then certain scale sounds, how to really exploit those in more interesting ways. For example, certain arpeggios within certain scales can give a different flavor to the scale that different arpeggio cannot give. So even if you choose Dorian, for example, there's different aspects of Dorian that you could use, and certain techniques, certain arpeggios, things that can give different flavors in different ways. So what works for you and what you like. Week 5 is harmonies, which can sound great, but they can sound very cliched as well. Harmonizing in thirds like Iron Maiden and Thin Lizzy has been done to death, although it does sound good. There are different ways to harmonize, so you can use different intervals, and we'll be using different note qualities as well. Do they want to sound more brittle, slinky, sexy, and the importance of tying up the vibrato and keeping everything really tight together. And also looking at harmonies on a clean sound. So a technique I like to use called web harmony is where I have a chordal piece and then I put another chordal piece on top. So the intervals change every time. It's not harmonizing in thirds, it blends together to the point where you can't really tell if one harmony is one or the other. It just comes across as a web, and that's a really interesting approach. So that should give you a lot of ideas of how to approach harmonies in a different way that does not sound generic, and then that can be further developed onto your own style. Week 6 will be emotional authority. So this will be a ballad, which allows a lot more space, and you can really dig into the chord tones and let those notes ring out. So a less advanced player will obviously be like shredding up and down the neck, hitting the root note, hitting the fifth, and not really doing much to connect to the audience or the song. So we'll have a scenario for the song, and then so that'll be your brief, what to play. And so I really want some singable phrasing, intentional restraint, and really connecting emotionally to the audience. And I want you to transmit those feelings so other people feel them as well. And so it really feels like you rather than just anyone else playing. So you'll be doing it in a certain way, which then people will be able to recognize, that is you. To close off the course, we'll be revisiting the same backing track from the start, and you'll be playing a new solo with that to showcase how much you've changed, how much more conscious your decisions are, and how much better you are, and how much more identifiable you are as a player. As a bonus, at the end, we'll be doing a Jared Dine style shred collab. So what this will be is there'll be a long backing track, and everyone will get a place to do their solo. And so you don't feel you're competing with the other students on the course. The sections of the solo are going to be a bit different. So instead of you all playing, say, E minor at 140, there'll be different changes and textures in there. So you can pick which solo section you want, and then you can add harmonies or do whatever you want that feels that showcases you as your best playing. So you might want a fast section, might want a one with half-time feel or some slightly more extended chords. So we'll be putting those together as a showcase, and then you can show people what you've learned, and then it'll be a good showcase for how people progress in the course. I will be joining in on that as well, so I'll start off and then everyone else can just like go nuts.